Okay, I am currently live. A little last minute impromptu live, but I got some new watercolors that I was gonna swatch anyway, and I decided why not do it on camera and kind of give you my feedback of how I was, feeling about them. So today I'm going to be swatching and playing around with Shinhan watercolors. I received two different types from them. I received their PWC as well as their professional watercolors. Now, confusing by the name of them, the PWC is the premium, the highest quality watercolors from this brand. And then the professional ones are kind of like a high quality student grade from my understanding. So what they sent me was a pack of 13 of the professional. So I actually put these in a palette, just like a little dot of them in a palette so I can test them after. And they also sent me the dot chart. So I'm going to be going through, I think, all of these colors. They have, oh my gosh, there's so many. There is 104 colors on this dot chart. And I've done the one from Winsor Newton, I think it was, the professionals. So I'm excited to see how these compare. And they have some really nice colors. So I'm going to be doing that. And then the tubes that they sent me two of their kind of, what are they? Main color sets. So two of these. So I'm not going to be opening these and swatching them because they're going to be what's in the color chart. And then I'm going to maybe like just kind of compare briefly the professionals to the dot card, and then we can see if there's actually a difference. I'm sure there is, but I don't always notice the difference. So, hey guys. Hey friends. So this is gonna be a long video, so I'm gonna be like just getting into it, but please feel free, just because I'm not like focusing too much on painting something specific. I'm just gonna be swatching this. Please feel free to hop in the chat, and if you guys have any questions, I can answer those. And I think we should just get started. So I'm going to turn my camera around. And I quickly just want to show you. So they also sent me this palette, which is pretty cool. It's huge. Like, this is biggest palette I've ever owned. And there are, so it originally comes with, hold on. It originally comes just like this with, I don't even know how many that is. 35 wells. And then this comes separately, that you can buy separately as an insert, which is really cool to put even more in there. And these are the professional ones that I'm going to be swatching after. But this is a huge, pretty cool palette. So I'm going to look at that after. All right, so let's get into the dot card, and I can answer some questions that you guys may have. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. Yeah, so someone said, Sylvia, I'm still looking forward to receiving your brushes that I ordered a couple days ago. I can't believe I caught you live. I'm in Sydney, supposed to be working. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy the brushes when you get them. Okay. So this is the dot card, and if you guys haven't seen one of these before, it's actually really great if you're interested in investing money in some high quality watercolors, just so you can kind of get a feel of the colors and how they look in person, because I feel like those little swatches that you might see online are just so off that seeing them in real person, in real life is a little bit nicer, to get a feel of the colors that you really like and that you want to invest your money in. So I'm just going to talk while I do this. So with each of these colors, there is some information. Oh, that's pretty. Crimson Lake. There is information that goes with it. So it tells you the pigment numbers, I believe. Yes, it does. It tells you the pigment numbers. This is a beautiful pink. This Crimson Lake. Ooh, that's nice. It tells you the transparency. So watercolors, they rate their transparency with transparent colors, semi-transparent, semi-opaque, and opaque. So opaque isn't more, it's kind of like more like a gouache, but it's just you can't see it as well through it. And then transparent obviously is really nice and transparent. I'm really good at explaining this. I'm not too great at the technical stuff, but that's my understanding of it. And then it also tells you the light fast rating. So 3 stars is excellent light fast. 2 stars is normal degree of light fastness, and 1 star is low degree of light fastness. Oh my gosh, light fastness. And basically what that means is how the color reacts over time to natural environmental factors. So sunlight, will it fade or change color in the sun is a big one. That's usually something that does not have the greatest light fast rating, will fade fairly quickly. I did do a light fastness test a while back with some watercolors, and some of them were pretty surprising. You could always look up Emma Lefebvre light fast test and you'd find it. These are beautiful pinks. I don't actually think I've ever seen such a range of beautiful pinks. These are nice. But yeah, and then also here it has the price list, like the lowest price, low price, medium, high price. So these tubes, depending on where you get them, I'm sure you can like find deals and stuff like that. But I was looking at my local art store in Canada, which is Desiree's, which is, I feel like, one of the big ones. I actually haven't seen if they're at Curry's, but I noticed that they're at Desiree's. And they go for like almost like $10 a tube. So they're not cheap, these PWC Shinhan ones. They're kind of on par, maybe a little bit less than some of the Winsor Newton or Daniel Smith. This is a pretty red. So I found that pretty interesting. Let me just make sure I'm answering any questions. I'm actually working on one color painting after watching your video right now. Oh, that's awesome. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. So yeah, so these so far, like, okay, I'm going to do a video on this soon, but like when people are like, these watercolors are so high quality, or these feel like low quality, to me, there's only usually one difference I can usually tell between like a high quality watercolor and a low quality watercolor, because light fastness doesn't really matter that much to me. A lot of my stuff I digitize. I don't sell my paintings where they're going to be hung in people's homes necessarily. So I don't worry too much about that. Although any paintings that I have sold, they have been painted with Winsor Newton professional watercolors. So I know a lot of those, and the colors that I used are very highly light fast rated. So I'm not too worried. So that's when I will worry about materials. But like, I mean, so far these look super gorgeous. I can't really tell. The reds seem close to the same. So it's also on the camera too. I can see a bit of a difference in person. But I see what you mean. Like if I'm looking up at my camera, these are pretty similar looking. The range of colors, like the colors that they have here, are very similar to the Winsor Newton selection, I feel. I'm going to try and see if I can go a little bit closer with my camera. And that's as close as I'm getting. Okay. I'll just, once I finish this row, I'll kind of show you a little bit more up close. I also find it hard to judge completely on this paper. Usually swatching paper isn't the best to judge. But there are reviews of these paints if you guys are interested in something a bit more in depth. So just like looking a little bit more up close. They're really nice. I'm seeing some beautiful colors already, which is pretty cool. Random question, but recently I was mixing watercolors and I noticed that the paint was kind of separated and patchy when you put it on paper. Do you know why that would be? Okay, so you probably have some sort of granulating color. I remember when that happened to me the first time, and it was with an ultramarine blue. Ultramarine across, don't quote me on this, but across most brands tend to be more granulating, which means they separate and they have this kind of texture to them. And so anytime I mix ultramarine with another color, they tend to separate. And so I wonder what colors you're mixing. That was Jessie, by the way. I think, Jessie, I wonder what colors you were mixing, because I noticed that happened with my ultramarine, and it still happens all the time, and it's just the type of paint it is. I thought there was something wrong with it. There was also another one too, the mauve or mauve. I say mauve. Mauve Professional from Winsor Newton also was like more of a granulating, separating color that I tried to mix, and it just was not going well. Oh, please call out the color names as you go. I will try. After this row, I'll tell you what the colors were. They're very pretty. I love swatching. There's something so relaxing about swatching. Wish I could have some music without risking not being able to monetize. So we have Crimson Lake, Alizarin Crimson, Quinacridone Red, Permanent Rose, Carmine, Rose Madder, Pyrrole Red, Permanent Red, Brown Madder, Scarlet Lake, Opera, Cadmium Red Deep, Vermilion, Vermilion Hue, Cadmium Red Orange, Brilliant Orange, Permanent Yellow Orange, Cadmium Yellow Orange. Now we're on Cadmium Yellow Deep. I'm curious to know if anyone really like uses more than 2 yellows. Because I always find there's so many yellows sometimes in sets or packs, and I'm like, really, to me, I only need maybe 2 yellows, maybe. But I could definitely get away with 1 yellow. Like this looks so similar to me, like the Cadmium Yellow Deep and the Cadmium Yellow, it's like they're almost exactly the same. And then the Cadmium Yellow Light is just slightly lighter, but I feel like you can mix more yellows. All you need is like a Cadmium Yellow Light or something. You could add a little bit of orange to it and it makes it a darker yellow. You could add a little bit of purple to it and it makes it like a yellow ochre. I don't know the deal with yellows. I find there's lots of them, but I'm like, they feel so unnecessary to me. I use Azo Yellow and Lemon Yellow. Interesting. Like I feel, it's so funny. I feel like some of us just pick colors and then stick with them based on comfort. And I started out with Cadmium Yellow and then Lemon Yellow as my first like 2 yellows, and I just haven't really moved on because I'm like, I can make any kind of yellow I want with these 2. So it doesn't really matter. But then other people have their own preferences. Jessie said, yes, I think it was ultramarine. Yeah. Ultramarine's a big one. Actually, I'll see once we get to ultramarine here. I'm curious to see if it's going to be like a more granulating ultramarine. I find not most, but I've come across more granulating ultramarines than not. So I'm curious to see if this one will be granulating. Which I don't love granulating colors. I really don't. They're not my favorite. I find them, like you said, hard to mix with. I mean, it can create some fun textures. Sorry, I should probably move closer to the mic. It can create some fun textures, but I don't always love it. Okay, now we're getting into the greens. These are my favorite. I'm always curious about greens. So this is, I'll go back over and tell you the names of these again. I'm always so disappointed with the, what is it? Terra Verte? I don't know. They look like, just like the paint itself always looks so promising. And then when you like kind of add the water, it's like so underwhelming. Don't really love that color. Okay, so we have Cadmium Yellow Deep, Cadmium Yellow Light, Cadmium Yellow Pale, Indian Yellow, Permanent Yellow Deep, Permanent Yellow Light, Lemon Yellow, Naples Yellow, which is actually really nice, I think that's Aurelian, greenish yellow, terra verte, yellow shade. Claire says, I want to keep watching, but it's nearly 1 a.m. in England. I can barely keep my eyes open. Go to bed, Claire. Go to bed. It's all good. Emma, which paints are best to use for transparent petal painting for florals? I would look at the transparency of the paints. So not all, like depending on what set you have. If you have a professional set, you should be able to see the transparency. You should be able to look it up. So any of the ones that would look, that say transparent, so like these little, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see. Under each color, there's a little box. Some of them have a line through it. Some of them are, you know, half, I know it's so hard to see, half drawn in. Those are the transparency ratings. So anything that is like completely transparent or says it's transparent would be the best. But if you just water any watercolor down, you can get that transparency, to be honest. So any color that you like, just watered down would be the best. I would say try not to go for an opaque color, which tend to be the ones that look like they have a little bit more white into them. They might be a little bit trickier, but any color should really work. Love that greenish yellow. This one, the cadmium green pale. I like the olive green. Olive green, I think, is my favorite green color. One color I don't like, and I never like in any palette, are these permanent greens where they're like these bright neon greens. This has to be my least favorite green color of all. Do not like them. And I find they're in so many palettes. And they're actually, I think, is it in this one? This is Viridian, the green that's in here. And this is cadmium green light. Yeah, so it's that like really, really light one there, which is not too bad. It's that one I don't like. I don't like the permanent. It just looks so fake to me. But the good news is with greens is that you can mix them with so many other colors to make them more of a neutral, natural shade of green. So it's not that big of a deal. But if I had to use it on its own, I'm not a fan of these colors. Watching from Denmark, it's almost 2 a.m. here. Victoria, go to bed. I'm kidding. You can stay. Let me know if there's any colors that are standing out to you. I know it's hard to see. I mean, I could, you know what I should do? Ooh, 2. What if I move up my desk so we can see a bit better, and I'm going to stand because I've been sitting a lot today. There we go. It's a bit better. I might turn off one of my lights because I feel like it's a little bright in here. Trying to manage lights is so hard sometimes. Is that better or worse? I can't tell. Let me know. Are you enjoying the quality of these so far? Yes, actually, I am. I think they're really nice. Like, I mean, I kind of said at the beginning, like, it's hard for me to be like, this paint is great, this paint sucks. I haven't come across many that I'm like, oh, these paints are awful, except for like really cheap, you know, paints. I feel like you can make art out of anything and make it beautiful. Oh, that's disappointing. The oxide of chromium just isn't really as dark as the one in the Winsor Newton, which I love. It's a little disappointing. It's a beautiful shade, but it's disappointing. So it's not my... I feel like I'm not the best to ask. What's her name? Lindsay from The Frugal Crafter does amazing reviews of qualities of watercolors. I call her in my head the pigment queen. I feel like she knows all that kind of stuff. But to me, I haven't really come across too many watercolors that I just don't like. I tend to stick with Winsor & Newton because it's a comfort thing for me. I just know the colors so well. I know them well arranged in my palette, so I tend to use them. And then my other palette I filled with Paul Rubens tubes, which are awesome as well. I love those. And these seem really beautiful as well. So I don't know. There's the only ones that I've not enjoyed are definitely not artist quality. Like, oh, what was that brand? Artistro. It's like one of those cheaper, affordable palettes on Amazon. Did not like that. It did, when I find like a watercolor dries really chalky, I do not like it. So that was one of those. But so many other ones that I've tried, I like. Daniel Smith is beautiful. Yeah, this Terra Verte. Such an interesting color. They have it in Winsor Newton too, and it's just so underwhelming. I don't know what the point is. But maybe better for glazing. I don't know. But yeah. I'm trying to find your brushes on Amazon, but having trouble finding them. Yes, they are not available on Amazon. You have to go through Craftimo to purchase my brushes. Ooh, shadow green. That's a Emma color too. Ooh, I like that one. That's very me. I love dark greens and I love olive greens. Peacock green. Okay, and then I'll tell you the names of the ones that I haven't told you yet. When you're finished, can you please pick your top 28 colors? Sure. I would love to. Yeah, I'll definitely tell you the ones that stand out the most to me that I would, if I were to pick, I would put in my palette as a must-have. Not a must-have. None of them are must-haves. Really, you can get away with a set like this, but I would tell you the ones that I like. Yes, so who is it? Who? Patty. So my brushes, they're available at craftimo.com. I have subscription boxes which have 2 new brush shapes in them. Shameless plug here. That are for sale now. They're doing pre-orders right now. The first box comes in January. But if you're just looking for my set of 4 essential brushes, that is also on craftimo.com. It comes with a set of 4. They're all round brush, not all of them. I have a size 12, 6, and 2 round brush in that set, and then what was it? Was it a mop brush? I can't even remember. I think it's I can't remember. Oh, Oval Wash. I was like, what was the name again? Yeah, in that set. And you know what? I will just say it here because it's exciting. I am developing a new brush set with Craftimo, which includes new shapes, which I have recently discovered and loved. So that is also coming out soon. I am possibly making an announcement in the next couple weeks, and I could give you a little sneak peek right now if you'd like. Just for being here live, you can get a little sneak peek in 1 second. Okay. So the ones that are here, the colors that we just did, we have cadmium green deep, sap green, oxide of chromium, hooker's green, green deep, phthalo green dark, viridian hue, terra verte, shadow green, peacock green, cobalt green, turquoise blue light, turquoise blue, blue pale, marine blue, peacock blue, and verditer blue. I don't know how to say that, but yeah. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I will give you a sneak peek of my new brush collection that's coming out. These have been used, so they're not going to look as beautiful. But it's going to be a new set that is specifically geared towards florals. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. So these are the new brushes, like this beautiful blue gray. They don't even have my names and stuff on them yet, but these are the testers that I've been testing out. Comes with a really nice chunky filbert, size 12, a size 10 round, which is in one of my boxes. Some of these are in my boxes, but 3 of them are not. So this one is a chunkier filbert, so it's actually not in my boxes, but the size 10 round is, and then the size 8 dagger is. But the ones that are not in my boxes, which are exciting, are my 1/4 inch stroke brush, my 1/2" stroke brush, and my size 1 kind of round liner brush, which is really nice for some detail. So those are kind of in the new set. I'm working on the art for the boxes right now, but they're a lot of fun for florals, and I really like this like bluish gray color. So that's that. Someone said, I'm sorry, I'm new painting. What is Craftimo? Craftimo is the company that I work with who produce the brushes. So I teamed up with him with a Craftimo. So that's the brand there, Craftimo. Ooh, you can't see it. And these are my other brushes. So it's just the company that I work with to create the brushes. And the brush box looks like, ow. These are the ones that the original 4-piece come in, but I don't have the brushes in here because I am currently using them. But this is the set of 4 that they come in. Okay, back to swatching. We're almost done. Not almost done. We have another full sheet, but this looks like a fun sheet. There's some really fun colors down here, which are exciting. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here, make sure you guys can see. Cerulean blue. And it's interesting. So they also let you know like the price points, like just like which ones are most expensive. The cerulean blue is like a high price point apparently, which is interesting because it's not, I don't like cerulean blue. And this doesn't seem too pigmented. It has to be something like with the pigments, the ones that aren't as saturated maybe, that are just a lot lighter. There's nothing wrong with the paint, but some of them are just meant to, like the Terra Verte ones. I know that they're not supposed to be like super vibrant in color, but I'm just curious to wonder like what the point is of having such a light color, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe someone will let me know. Because if I wanted to achieve that, I would just go heavier on the water, but I'd like to have the option to have a nice dark saturated version. I don't know. Patty, if you look in the description of most of my videos, or you can just go to craftimo.com, you'll see it there. They also have collaborations with lots of other artists who also have brushes and stuff. It's pretty fun. Your packaging is beautiful, Emma. Thank you. I'm currently working on the new packaging for the new brushes, and I'm just like stressing out a bit. I get so down and hard on myself sometimes, and I'm like, these florals suck, but I'll figure it out. I always do. I was like that with the boxes too, and then I was so happy with how the boxes turned out, so I just need to kind of let myself cry about it for a minute and then get back on the horse there. Okay, so the one I'm swatching right now is ultramarine light. So once it dries, I'm curious to see if it's going to granulate. Ooh, it does say granulation here. Yes. So ones that have either a G beside it or an ST is, so ST is staining color, G is granulating color. So ultramarine is granulating. So hopefully I can show you when it dries. This is ultramarine deep. I can show you what a granulating color is if you don't know. And then a staining color is one that will, from my knowledge, I may be wrong, but from what I know is that it just won't lift as easy, which is also nice for layering. So knowing your staining colors, it's good to know because they're usually good as a base layer, because then the whole color won't completely lift. I don't know if I'm right or not. But it looks like a lot of them are either staining or granulating. This is a staining color. Maybe I should look more into that. I don't know. I am the least technical watercolor art teacher you will find. Terra Verde I found is as lovely as a glaze over rocks. Oh, interesting. Gives them a subtle hint of mossy growth on the shadow side. Oh, that's a good idea. That's interesting. Thank you, because I was like, what do you use it for? Like, I love the color of like the actual paint, but then doesn't seem to go anywhere, but I understand as a glaze. So for those of you who don't know, glazing is just like a light kind of wash of the color over top of other colors to just give like a subtle hint. Okay, so this is lavender, and I was actually excited to swatch this one too, just because it's so pretty, but seems pretty light. Again, it's not too intense. Interesting. Interesting. Yes, it has that same patchy look as the ultramarine has. Yeah, it's just a granulating color. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way it is. And when I first started, I hated granulating colors. Like, hated them. Did not, like, I could not stand them. I thought there was something wrong with my paints, and I refused to use them a lot of the time. Like, Potter's Pink is a very granulating color, and I just did not like it. I still don't use Potter's Pink. But I've learned to appreciate granulating colors a bit more just for their texture. But again, I just find they look odd when you're working with some granulating colors and then some not. You know what I mean? Especially within florals, I find it doesn't look amazing. Like, if I didn't know better, like these, like this one I'm swatching right now is Mineral Violet. It just seems like it doesn't want to activate and be as intense. And I really like dark, intense colors that I can lighten up on my own if I wish. So, I don't know. You guys can see what I'm doing, right? Oh, shoot. Sorry. I just realized it wasn't in frame. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, this one, Cobalt Violet Light. Like, why? Why? I don't know. To each their own, though, right? To each their own. But so far, they're nice paints. Like, I have nothing bad to say. Granted, I'm not painting with them, but like I said, I don't know if I would find something wrong with them. I did look that the Frugal Crafter, Lindsay, has done a review on these. So if you are interested in more the technical side, I would definitely go check her out. She has like a long review on these. So that's always good. I find I can't sit through long reviews, but they're good. Someone said, are the Shinhan watercolors student or artist grade? So the ones I'm swatching right now are artist grade. These are their highest quality watercolors that they have. These are the PWC, ones. So these are their highest quality. And then they have another one, which would compare, I think is like a comparison to Winsor Newton Cotman. So it's like a high quality student grade, which is called the professional Shinhan watercolors, which confused me because I'm like Shinhan, like the professional, and then PWC. I don't know. But those are, so these are the highest quality. Then you get these ones. Let me show you the front of the box just so you know. Or I could just go like this. These ones are like the student grade, but they're high quality student grade from what I've heard. And then they have even like lower grades. They even have kids watercolors too. Like they have non-toxic beginner for children watercolors on their site too, which is really cool. And then even a step up from that, but a step down from the professional. So these are their high quality ones. And they're actually carried in a lot of art stores in the States, in Canada. I just had never tried them, and I haven't seen a lot of reviews on them. But Sarah Burns, who just started her her gouache subscription box with Craftimo, uses the Shinhan gouache in her boxes. And she loves them. That's her favorite kind. So they sourced that for her boxes, which is really nice. Oops, that is bleeding together. So they sent me the watercolors because we might be, if you are a subscription box member, we might be doing a collaboration with them for more boxes, but with higher quality watercolors. So that's also why I'm testing it out. Surprise! I'm just letting all my secrets out. in this live stream, which I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'm doing it. The permanent magenta is gorgeous. Yes, that one's really nice. I really like that one. Onto the browns. I also tend to not use many browns. I usually have in my palette, my go-to palette, I'll have like a burnt umber, which is a nice like warm brown like this. And then maybe a Van Dyke brown, or and the other one I think it was, oh, sepia right here, which is a really nice dark brown. But honestly, I feel like if you are to pick a brown, I like burnt umber the best, because if you wanted to do a dark brown like this, all you'd have to do is add black to it. And if you don't want to put a brown in your palette, you can make your own brown. And I've done that in a couple of videos as well. So, well, this ivory black is a granulating color. That's interesting. Peach black. What does that mean? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the names of the colors. I will let you know in just a second. Peach black. That's interesting. Okay, so back up here. We have cerulean blue. Nope. Cerulean blue, cerulean blue hue, cobalt blue hue. I'm not sure what the hue means, what the difference is. It just looks darker, but I don't know. Phthalo blue red shade. Then we have ultramarine light, ultramarine deep, Prussian blue, royal blue, indigo, lavender, which actually is looking really beautiful right now. Ultramarine violet, permanent violet, mineral violet, cobalt violet light, permanent magenta, brown red, which I like that. Light red is nice too. I'm on this like orangey brown kick. That's really pretty too, that light red. Brown, burnt sienna is also another beautiful color. Burnt umber, raw sienna, yellow ochre, umber, Van Dyke Brown 2. Don't know what the difference is. This is granulating and staining. This is not. Interesting. Sepia, ivory black, peach black, which is weird, but cool. I'm just thrown off by the name. Neutral tint. That's another color that I have from Winsor Newton that I really like. It's just like this cooler grayish black, which is nice. Paynes gray is usually a go-to in my palette. Actually, I guess that would be warmer, because that's more, yeah, that's a warmer gray. And then this is a cooler gray because it's more blue, the Paynes gray. Davies gray. This kind of looks like a Terra Verte kind of situation. It's really pretty though, actually. The color is nice. That's pretty. I don't think I'd ever use it though. I don't know if I would. Actually, I really like that. I'm a fan of green. It's almost kind of like a sagey color, actually, and it says it's granulating and staining, but it's activating quite well. It's not like really light or anything. I like that. That's just like a color that I like to wear. Then there's this gray, which is a nice light gray. Then we have white that you don't really get to see too much. This is Chinese white. And then we have titanium white, which you can't really see. My water's so dirty. It's all good. Then we have brilliant pink. So we're now getting into these opaque colors that usually are nice and kind of light because they're mixed with a white. And if you look at the pigment number, this is what I've learned, I think. So this is done with PR 209 and PW, which is white, pigment white, I think, 6. So these ones have white in them, which makes them more opaque because the white colors like titanium white and yeah, which is PW6, is opaque. Ooh, shell pink is pretty. Oh, someone said last of the party, but the colors are really pretty. Made from burned peach pit. Oh, that's cool. For the peach black. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know. See, I love this. I mean, I get to learn, you get to learn. Mostly I get to learn. Thank you. Jaune Brilliant 2. Jaune Brilliant. Brilliant. Like my accent? It's awful. Someone said seafoam. Yeah, that one. It's like a seafoam, which is really pretty. Gotta make sure I'm moving it up. These are gorgeous. These are definitely gorgeous watercolors. Leaf green I usually tend not to be a fan of, but it's like this kind of green gold, which is kind of nice. Permanent green too. I wonder why they're over here. Meh. It's that green I'm not a fan of. Emerald green. Interesting, didn't know there were two different types of white. Yes, and yeah, forget what it is. I don't know if it's just in gouache, because I had two different types of white in gouache, the zinc white and titanium white, and what I remember someone saying, I believe, was the zinc white was less opaque or something, and it was better for mixing, and then titanium white is to like really lay down a nice opaque white pigment. I might be wrong, but I believe someone said that once, and that kind of stuck with me in my head. I don't really know the difference. Let me see if this activates even more. Yeah, it's nice and opaque. Like there's a little box. I don't know. One that's also looks kind of a little bit more like a warmer white, but it might be my dirty water. Who knows? Lilac. Pretty. Purple gray. Come on. This one is not really activating. Come on. Come on. There we go. Some of them take... No, actually, they don't take a long time, but there are some colors I feel like they take a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of like pastel-y colors. I feel like you could easily mix them on your own just by adding white to a color, so not a big deal to have those in my palette. There we go, and then I'll just tell you the rest of their names, and then I can talk about them. Okay, so I think did I stop there? Neutral tint, excuse me. Paynes gray, Davies gray, which I'm liking more now. Gray, Chinese white, titanium white, brilliant pink, shell pink, jaune brilliant, jaune brilliant 2, leaf green, permanent green, emerald green nova, green pale, horizon blue, blue gray, lilac, purple gray, bright violet, and bright rose. And those are the colors in this dot card. There we go. Whoa. Okay, so these are gorgeous and they look beautiful, and I don't know what else to say. Let me just look at some of the comments. I've been using these for over a year. I started with Sennelier as my first professional grade paint, and I find that I really like them. Awesome. Yeah, these are really nice. These are really high quality. They're beautiful, lots of information on them. So these are actually based out of Korea, in case you're wondering. They're a Korean watercolor, which is really cool. So I am definitely going to be in touch with them through Craftimo for hopefully bringing something to you. Someone asked what colors I would add in my palette. No, that's going to be hard. Okay, I don't know if I can actually count like 28, but let's just go through them, and I would tell you what I would add. Oh, 1 second. Hi. Hi. What's up? Are you going out?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to replace the entire island.
Okay. Can you tell me that later?
No, I'm kidding. We're fine.
Oh, you suck. You suck. Here. Here. Say hi.
Hi.
Say
Hello.
hi. You can't see anybody.
No, that's fine.
I can't see you. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, want to see what it looks like?
What? Oh, did you put the new faucet in?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's done.
Good job.
Thanks.
Our faucet exploded in our kitchen sink.
I can be handy sometimes.
Yeah, you didn't let everything explode even more. Let's see.
No, they're on there tight.
Okay, good.
There's very little chance it'll
We got the
explode.
bibbies.
Okay,
The
sorry.
two bibbies. All right.
You get that I'm going?
Yeah. Are these
Okay.
pretty?
Yeah.
Pretty.
Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah.
Cool. That's how you use the color charts.
Yeah. You just wet
That
it.
makes sense.
You wet it.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at it before and be like, I don't understand this.
That's okay.
But now I do.
Yeah. Okay. Now get out. Bye. Okay. You're going for a walk? I love you. Are you going for a walk?
Yeah.
Jesus. It's fine. We're fine. I haven't been up since 6. It's okay.
That's cute. The standing desk. I haven't seen you stand using that yet.
Oh, really? I use it. Still haven't closed my rings, but whatever. Oh, well. Okay, bye, Matt. Bye. Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. Hooray. Oh, no. Huge array of colors. Yes. Beautiful range of colors. Yes. I think Shinhan makes paper too. I'm not sure if they make paper. I have to look on their website. Okay. So the ones I would pick, let's go through each color and like ones that stand out to me. This Crimson Lake immediately stood out to me, which was like a nice kind of deep kind of pink. Usually I'll go for like a permanent rose. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. The Crimson Lake is kind of standing out to me. It's just a nice deep pink. And then for red, I like this permanent red, I think. Crimson Lake, permanent red. Opera, I'm not a huge like neon kind of pink person. Yeah, I don't think. And oranges, I don't love having oranges in my palette. Like I can make an orange, I feel, so easily just by adding a little bit of yellow to my permanent red. It's not a necessity. As for the yellows, I mean, permanent yellow light is standing out to me. It's nice and bright. But again, I don't care too much for yellows. For the greens, love my greens. Okay. Olive green would be a must-have in my palette. And I love the shadow green. Those would be two like specialty greens that I would use. And then for like a regular kind of green, I feel like I'm so basic sometimes. Sap green and hooker's green maybe, or cadmium green deep. I don't know. I love green. But yeah, that green, that shadow green is kind of like a dark seaweed green, which I really like. And then blues. Okay, so we have our cool blues over here and then our warm blues over here. So you know the difference. I'm sorry it's so bright. I'm trying to like figure out how to make it not so bright. Yeah, I can't reach. What if I turn this off? I feel like is that too dark? I don't know. Maybe you can see the colors a bit better. No, that's actually better. Okay, so the cool blues, you can tell which, okay, let me just give you a little lesson in the warm and cool colors when looking at a color chart like this. It's really easy to identify warm and cool like blues depending on which ones they're sitting next to. So all these blues here that are right next to the greens, these are going to be cool greens. They're leaning more towards that green shade. The blues that are over here by the purples are the warm blues. So I would pick for your palette a cool blue and a warm blue. Now that's hard. Okay. Like this marine blue is a nice turquoisey kind of color, but I also like this peacock blue. It almost seems kind of neutral. And I do love my ultramarine. I like the ultramarine deep, I think. Royal blue is nice too. I'm not a huge fan of Prussian blue. I feel like I could add a tiny bit of like a black to it or a Paynes gray and I like this royal blue though. That's nice. That's really hard. The indigo looks more like a Paynes gray to me. This is Paynes gray down here, but they actually look very similar. And I usually have an indigo and a Paynes gray in my palette, and I would probably just put this indigo, royal blue, ultramarine, And then just for a difference, that peacock blue is nice. I'm loving the lavender. I don't know how often I'd use it, but I'm just really loving that color. And then for purples, I lean more towards like a darker purple, not as warm of a purple. Like I feel like when I say warm, I'm thinking more of a pinky purple, which these are kind of leaning towards, and these are leaning more towards blue. So I feel like a permanent violet I would go for. And then I'm really digging these brown reddy colors. Like this light red is really nice. It's very similar to the burnt sienna, but I really like that. Brown red. Burnt umber is just a staple. Sepia you could just make with some black. It's interesting that that's the only black, and it's a granulating black. I'm surprised there's not a better black in here, but that's okay. And then this Davies gray or green. Yeah, no, Davies gray. I really like, and I think that would be it. But I don't know. Are any of them standing out to you guys? Let me know in the comments if any of them are standing out to you. Okay, so that is the professional, not professional, that is the PWC dot card. These are the highest quality for the Shinhan brand. And then I have in the palette here, these are the professional brand, but they're known as the student grade. So again, I'll just show you. It's this box here, Shinhan Professional. And I'm just going to swatch them just because I'm curious. Just going to find a piece of paper back. I should probably, one sec. I'm just going to just rinse these out just really quick. Just stay there. Just one sec. One sec. Okay, and I'm back. Let me know if the light is okay with you, for you guys. Feeling a little like, I feel like it's not, I don't know if it's bright enough. Actually, no, maybe this light. Oops, sorry. I have too many lights in here and it's nighttime. Maybe just this one, but lower it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to start with this first color, and these were just wet from the tube. So they're still a little wet. I'm just trying to use just a little bit. So this one is violet. Should probably use a bigger brush. So if you're using paint that is straight from the tube, just know you only need a tiny amount. If you're ever coming from painting with acrylics, I find we take way more paint than we need to if it's wet out of the tube, and you really only need a tiny bit, okay? Light is fine, looks good to you. Okay, perfect. I think they're better than other pricey brands I've tried. So curious to see what you think. Yeah, so far so good. So these ones are the professionals, which are the student grade, high quality student grade. And someone, I forget who I was talking to a while ago, compared it kind of to Winsor Newton Cotman, which is what I started out with when I upgraded from my children's palette. Okay. And those were like pricey for me when I was first starting out, and they were tubes, and I absolutely loved them. And I would still, oh no, I might not still be painting with them just because I do get gifted a lot of watercolors from companies now just because this is my job. But the only reason why I switched over to the professional watercolors by Winsor Newton was because one of my lovely viewers, actually two lovely viewers, sent me all the ones that they didn't want. And some of them are brand new tubes. I think they changed brands. They're like, hey, do you want these professional Winsor Newtons? And I'm like, yeah. So that's the only reason why I went professional. Sonia says, So confusing. Student is professional. I don't understand. Yes. So with this brand, they have actually, you know, I might show you after. I'm going to show you after I swatch these what their website looks like. And it kind of goes in order from, what's it called? From highest quality to lowest, or like student elementary kind of grade. But yeah, the student grade is called professional. These are really beautiful though. Like, this is my thing, is like, I don't know if you swatch these in the professional or like the, it's so hard to, I know it's so confusing because I would call them professional, the highest quality, but these are technically called professional. I don't know if I would be able to tell them apart necessarily. Like, they're super vibrant. Maybe I'll look up a bit more information about them. I think I have a pamphlet here because they do come with the light fast rating and all that stuff. But I believe that they are cheaper. But I don't know if the range of color is as extensive as the PWC line. But I mean, like, these are beautiful. The word hue after the pigment name means it's not made from the actual pigment, but something that is the same color. Oh, like cobalt blue hue means it's not really cobalt, but looks the same. Ah, thank you, Eileen. See, I don't know these things, but I like learning from you guys. Thank you. I've actually never known what that meant, so that's interesting. So I wonder how they make it. So hue just means it's not actually that pigment. Something that's kind of replicated to look similar. So actually I should go back and look at the light fast ratings and the quality ratings and stuff like that to see if it's different, if that makes a huge difference. See, here's my take on it. Like, I just use the paints to make pretty art. That's all I know. So like all the technical stuff I tend to not think about too much. As long as it's not like a beginner chalky watercolor that doesn't bleed or blend well or anything, I think I'm good. This is a nice pink. Which one is this? Oh, this is just the red. So that's the vermilion hue, and that's red. But it looks kind of pinky, which is nice. And then brown. These ones are also just labeled more generic names. Like this color is just called brown. So like if I was a starting out beginner, I could totally use these paints no problem and make beautiful art. So okay, so here are my swatches. We have black, brown, red, vermilion hue, so it's not vermilion, I've just learned. Yellow ochre, which I love. Permanent yellow. Wait. Yeah, lemon yellow, sorry. Yellow green, viridian hue, ultramarine, Prussian blue, and violet. And those are the professional brand. Can you say hi, Hannah, please? Hi, Hannah. Thanks for joining. See, these are beautiful colors too. So this is the pack of 13 that they sent me to test out. They do have larger sets of these ones. I'm going to leave these obviously in the palette and see how they dry and then reactivate, and then maybe I can just mention that another day. Because usually that's what I do with these tube watercolors is I'll put them in a palette like this. I'll let them dry overnight. I'll usually fill it up way more. And then I just use them by reactivating them with water, which is great. Also, I just want to mention this palette is like legit. I wish it was a little smaller just because I can't see myself using a huge palette like this. But I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to... There are, here you can kind of see, there are little squares in each well that are kind of textured, which I would assume keeps the paint, once it's dry, in the palette. So if you have ever had a plastic palette like mine, like the one I usually use, you know that a lot of the times the paints fall out. Even like these are my Winsor Newton ones. They're pretty stuck in there, but usually my burnt umber falls out. It just happens sometimes because of the plastic, but this is pretty legit. I love this. So that's the palette. Hi Hannah. I said hi Hannah. You could mix some great colors. Yes, exactly. So let me just show you quickly, just like mixing. Obviously these are not either of my favorite greens, but if I wanted to make a nice like dark green, I would take that green, the Viridian. I could take a little bit of purple, maybe a bit more of this. And I could take a little bit of blue, maybe. Nope, not that. A little bit of the vermilion. Make that kind of like shadow green color that I liked, the professional. Look at that dark green. Okay. Or I could take the bright green here, mix it a little bit with our vermilion and make olive, like a light olive. Or I could even just take a little bit of this. Let's just mix all this together. There's a dark olive. Like I can make most of the greens and stuff I love. So really, you don't need all of those colors. They're just fun to have. And then obviously you can just take, hold on, let me open this one more time. You can take the white, which is just white. Make sure the lid's on. And make like a light, kind of like opaque, kind of sea foamy. Let's add a little bit of blue in there. Sage kind of green. Looks similar to that Terverter, whatever it's called. Like that. Like you can make so many colors, like so many, with just a simple range of like 13 colors, even less. So that was a lot of fun. So I don't know what you guys think. I will probably use these to paint something soon. But yeah, that is kind of, that is that. Look, it's so dark in here. I'm standing because, oh, I hate painting at nighttime in this office because it just gets so messy. Oh, so messy. No, it gets so dark in here and it just drives me nuts. Those greens are really pretty. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Where can we get that paint palette? That paint palette is from Shinhan. It's their paint palette. I don't know if it's available on Amazon. I can look. Actually, oh wait, let me look at their website. Shinhan Art. So shinhanart.com. I'm just gonna look and see products. I don't know if I see the palette. Oh wait, no, there. Oh, they have paper accessories. Oops. Just checking for a second. I mean, you could definitely go on the website yourself. Okay. Yeah, so they have palettes. They have paper palettes too. So I don't know if they have it on Amazon. Oh, but what I did want to show you was the range of watercolors. I'm going to switch my camera around one more time. Oh, it's so bright. Darn it. Okay, hold on. Lights off again. Lights off again. Okay, let's see if you guys can see this. Probably not. Let me turn the brightness down. Okay. Kind of. Okay, so they go in order. So they have the PWC, extra fine watercolor. And then the next step down is the professional watercolor. Then after that, they have chamois watercolor. It's non-toxic. And then they have this start watercolor, which is for like beginner, like kids, which is really cool. So they have like for little kids, maybe like elementary, student grade, maybe a little bit older, and then the absolute professionals. So the Shinhan put pigment info on tubes. Yes, they do. Hold on. Yes, they do. They have the pigment. It's hard to see, but they have the pigment numbers. So this is like PG7. Then they have, yep, they have the light fastness and the transparency rating, even on the professional set. And then on the professional, or not the professional, the PWC tubes, they have all of that info as well. Yep. Which is nice. Oh, and I do have, where are those pamphlets? Okay, so this, I have pamphlets for, the gouache too, which I'm going to try with Sarah's box. Ooh, this is about the palette, which is really cool. So yeah, I would usually fill my palette like that. Very cool. This is the PWC brand. So it gives you all the info on all the colors. That's pretty cool. Is there anything else? And then shows you the sets that you can get. So they have one that's a bit more, you can get like the big sets. So there's one of 32 tubes, 24. They have a few different 6 ones. So I have the main 2 sets, which are cool. And then all the information right there. Oh, chemical description. That's cool. Interesting. So they have lots of info on these. Very cool. And then the professional ones, they have the card like this. Not as much. Oh no, they do have. So they have the card here. Goes through all the pigment numbers, transparency, all that stuff. The different sets they have for these. They have the set of 13, which I have, 18, 24, 30, 48 colors. So I guess they come in 48 colors. Different size tubes, 7.5, which is what I have there, 12 milliliters, and then more of the pigment info and all of that stuff on the back. So that is that. And yes, they are affordable. Someone said, wow, they're very affordable. They are affordable. The PWC are more expensive for sure, but these ones are very affordable. And if you're looking to like maybe upgrade to tubes and are like scared to go and spend lots of money on tubes, this might be a really great set to start with. I mean, you can mix amazing colors. They're very nice and vibrant. The light fast rating on a lot of them are great. I mean, I don't know. Definitely check them out. Okay. And it's dark again. It's fine. It's fine. Their palettes are expensive though. Yeah, that palette is crazy. Like, I would never purchase a palette this big. I don't think it's necessary. Actually, do they come in other sizes? They do. Oh, 24. Okay, so the one I have is a 35 set palette, but they have a 42 and a 24. 24 would be way better, I think. That's cool though. Very cool. But I mean, go for something on Amazon that's $10, which works for me, which is fine. So yeah, so that's that. I hope that was fun to watch. I'm always so nervous about doing swatching videos because I'm like, do people actually like to sit through this? Because I have like ADD where I can't sit and watch people like just swatch colors. Even with like watching painting tutorials, I don't personally, which is funny, I don't like a lot of talking. I like sped up videos. Just because I feel like I can't focus for that long because I'm a child. But yeah, so if you were watching to the end, that's great. If you're watching a little bit, thank you for being here and watching. If you caught me towards the end, you can always watch the replay. And I think that's about it. Overall, beautiful watercolors. Very happy. Stay tuned if you are part of the subscription boxes with Craftimo because we are looking at doing something exciting, hopefully, with this brand, which is very exciting. If you subscribe to the year-long subscription, you know that it's coming to an end if you started right at the beginning. If not, you still probably have a few months left. But after that, we are looking into getting higher quality paints. No new brushes in boxes, but maybe other things which could be fun, and then new tutorials. And then also keep an eye out because a new brush set is coming soon of 6 brushes, 4 florals. These are a lot of fun. So make sure to check out craftimo.com. And so jealous of your workspace and the bookcase. I work in my closet. Thank you, Virginia. I know it looks a lot better on camera. I am actually super claustrophobic in here. And it's just, I'm also like a total mess. My desk is just a mess. Like it's just, oh, this doesn't actually look that bad. But over there, it's a complete mess. You can see some stuff and garbage on the floor over here. Over here is a mess. Like there's things are just piled up to the sides. Behind me is just, from here up, it looks decent. This whole area is a disaster. Got a lot of books and stuff though, but I just need to organize it, but then I organize it and then it just sucks. Anyway, I love your channel. Your office is amazing. Thank you. I wish I just had more space. When we lived in our old house, which we rented, I actually had a full room and it was amazing. It was so good. I love that thing. And then we moved here and we had no extra rooms and we had a walk-in closet, which is like decent. It's like a square. But I don't have clothes in here. So it gets really hard because then my clothes are overflowing in my bedroom without places to be. So yeah, but hopefully one day I want to get a studio, like an office, because this is my job. It would be nice to like go to an office at some point. So I don't know. My subscription starts in January. I just signed up. Yay. Thank you, Bonnie. I hope you love it. The November boxes just came out for our previous subscribers and they're so happy. So I'm very excited. Question. How do you paint when you have kids? Do they go to school? So I have a 5-year-old that is in kindergarten and then a 18-month-old at home. So my husband and I both work from home and we actually trade off days because we both do our own business kind of thing. So we have the luxury of one of us looking after Miles and the other one working, and we switch off days. So I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He works Tuesday, Thursday, and the other person's looking after Miles. We were just looking into a daycare for him. Fortunately, there's no spots right now anywhere near us in any center. The waiting list is like 100 people long, which is really upsetting. So we're just going to continue this until he turns 4, I guess. But that's kind of how we do it. And before this, when I first started my channel, I did it during nap times. So my older son, Noah, would nap and I would shoot a few videos and that's how I would do it. I forget, what do you think of the color cube? I can see one behind you. Yes. I love it. I haven't used it, to be honest. I wish I did. It's more pretty on my shelf, but I haven't really used my color cube a lot. I should, because I'm looking for like a palette idea for my brush box thing, and I should probably look at that. That would be a good idea. But it's not necessary, but it is kind of cool. I don't know. It's up to you. Your hair is so pretty. Thank you. It's very rare that my hair is straightened and clean. I'm usually at the gym every day, and so it's always sweaty and curly. And so usually when you see me with a decent hair day, when it's straightened like this, I try and shoot as many intros for my videos as I can, because it's gonna be sweaty the next day. So thank you though. Thank you. It used to be so long and then I cut it. I'm just waiting for it to grow out again. I wish I could have your subscription, but I'm too broke. I know, I'm sorry. I know they are pricey. But you know what? Like when I first started out and stuff like that, I couldn't afford much, and I used student grade watercolors and stuff, and just, I was perfectly happy with those two. Like, and I have more than 700 tutorials on my channel that you can get for free. So just keep plugging away with that. No worries. Will I get my brushes when my subscription starts in January? Yes. So if your subscription started in January, you will get the first January box, which comes with 2 brushes, 4 little half pans of watercolor paint, a tutorial, paper, and a palette to put your paints in. I use my kitchen table. I used my kitchen table for the longest time too. But because this is my job, I needed a space where my kids couldn't get at things. And yeah, it's nearly 2 a.m. and I'm still here. Claire, go to bed. Okay, it's okay. You can be here. But thank you for joining me. It is almost 8:45, which is like my bedtime, but that's fine. How to subscribe. Go to craftamo.com and you can subscribe there. I can actually just show you the new box. Oh my God. I'm not going to show you. So in each of my subscription box, you get a free gift, and November's is really good. So I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll just show you the box because I don't actually have anything in here. But this is the box that you get. And in each box shows you the painting you're going to do. And it comes with 2 brushes, which are not in the box right now. And the paints are not in the box either. So I'm not really showing you anything, but this is November's box. But yeah, you get 4 paints, and then by the end of the year, you will have a full palette of 48 half pans, and this is the palette you get. But yeah, so go to craftamo.com if you are interested. We borrowed your book from the library. Oh, that's so cool. I love that it's in libraries. That feels like legit, you know what I mean? Why is that exciting? I don't know why. But thank you. Thank you. That's so cool. I've been using Shinhan 32 colors. So excited what you're thinking. I like them. I really do. They're beautiful so far. And these are like the lower quality ones. I really like, don't look at that. I really like those, and I really like the professional ones. These are beautiful. If I get more of a collection, who knows if I'll switch over. Maybe. I love the little surprise in every box. Yay. Still waiting to receive November. Hopefully it comes soon. Thanks, your fave brunette. Will the paints be available to purchase outside the box? Are you talking about the little half pans that come in the boxes, or are you talking about the... I don't know if we're going to have these in the boxes continued yet. The half pans, some of them are available. I'd wait though for better quality watercolors, to be honest. The watercolors that come in the boxes are not bad quality. I've had some people complain about them, that they don't really love them. This is, like I said before, this is my thing. I don't find any of them chalky. I don't feel like any of them are awful to work with. I painted perfectly fine. Some of the colors were hard to activate, like some were in here, depending on the color it is and the formulation. So I don't know, but that's why we're thinking of upgrading paints for new boxes. So I would stay tuned. But the thing is, like, we included those paints originally because I feel like if we did a subscription box and included paintbrushes and paper, I think if we didn't include some sort of paint, people would have been pissed. So we included paint. It is pretty decent quality. It's not the highest quality, but it's fine. And I've painted every single painting for those boxes with them with ease, and they work perfectly fine. They turned out beautifully. So you can purchase them separately, but it's totally up to you. If you want like higher quality stuff, I'd wait because they are a little bit pricey on their own. So I would wait. I gotta go to bed soon. But that was fun. I think that's it. But yeah, so I'm gonna get going to bed. And thank you guys for joining me. That was fun. I enjoy swatching. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I will try and look through them. And that's about it. These are fun. I'm excited to like put these in a palette and actually use them and play around with them more. But yeah, if you've used these paints, let us know what you guys think of them. And that's about it. So have a wonderful night or wonderful day, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're watching the replay, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in our next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.